as a subsidiary, as an accidental byproduct and advantage, there's that whole gorgeous series of exploratory missions. The Mariners, the Voyagers, the Vikings, Galileo, and on the Russian side likewise, which have just flocked through the solar system.
And so what have we learned from those? I mean, I'm now switching to the other side. First part of the book, you talk about, in a sense, some sense of our place in the universe, and then you also talk about what have we learned in the last 30 years from the Vikings and the Voyagers and all of that. Right. What have we learned?
This is the first moment in the entire history of the human species when we've explored firsthand, I mean, not humans, but our machines, our robots sending back the data, the environment we live in. We have examined every planet from Mercury out to Neptune. We have examined 70 moons and some comets and some asteroids. Never before has that been done. There's only one first time. That's our generation.
But what has it taught us?
It's taught us, you take a look at Venus,
Yeah.
you see a world with a surface temperature of 900 degrees Fahrenheit, produced by a massive carbon dioxide greenhouse effect, and never again will you be tempted to believe a radio talk show hosts who say that the greenhouse effect is something invented by
somebody's imagination. Is not a danger.
By liberals. You look at Mars, and you see a planet without an ozone layer, in which ultraviolet light from the sun has in effect fried the surface so that even organic molecules cannot survive there. And never again will you say that there's no danger to depleting our ozone layer. We learn about our world by examining other worlds.
Is there any commitment in terms of the national will now, reflected among the public, which has to support this kind of thing? Is there any enthusiasm for exploration?
The key question is exploration. When the poles are put in terms of real exploration, not driving a truck 200 miles up, but going to some new places, the support is overwhelmingly positive, much stronger than it was
but I
in
don't hear
1969.
politicians talking about it. I don't hear any part of a great debate. I mean, here we are about to launch, over the next couple of years, a great debate about the role of government. Clearly, exploration is something that has to be done, I assume,
you see,
by government.
What we're talking, it has to. It's too expensive
Yeah, exactly.
to do by private industry or wealthy individuals. What we're talking about, the advantages that accrue, are largely long-term advantages. And here,
long-term meaning over the next
meaning
100
over a
years,
period
200
of,
years?
no, even just decades.
Right.
And here, as in many other areas of our society, we have this fatal conflict between the short term and the long term. And it's always so tempting to say, let the long term take care of itself. I get reelected on the basis of what I do in the short term. And that is extremely dangerous. It's very important, of course, to plan things in the short term, but we have to have a mix. Every great society does that.
What's been the single most exhilarating moment in the exploration process for you?
Oh, goodness, there have been so many.
But has there been one or two moments in which you said, you know, my heart pounded faster than it ever had. I mean, the moment
I must say,
discovery.
every time we go to a new world,
Yeah.
my heart pounds. But Viking, when for the first time we set down on Mars, where no one had ever been before, and took pictures of this landscape that didn't look the least bit exotic. It looked like Arizona or Utah. That said to me something about the commonality of processes, about other worlds having some similarity to our own.